Good morning. How are you? This is Emily Craig, and it's Sunday morning when we ordinarily go to church. And going to church has been something I've been doing for 70 years. And I've been to a lot of churches, a whole bunch. And what I notice in the Reformed churches is that male dominance is absolute. Absolute. You know, the male spirit, left brain dominant, exercises a sequence of events to create outcomes. That's what the male spirit does. And the female spirit, known as Shechainah, runs in a circle and harmonizes and nurtures and makes assessments of the current situation. And this is how a marriage is supposed to operate, with the male setting goals and objectives and the female making it work internally. But that isn't what is allowed to happen in the churches today. In the churches today, the males stand up and they teach and they preach and they teach and they preach and they tell and they teach and they preach and they teach and they preach and they teach and they preach. And that's what happens in the churches today. Yakety, 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 yak. But if you look at the environment of the church itself, there is no one in the church assigned to assess the health of the members. There's no one there to, they usually have ministry programs that teach the beliefs and the doctrines and the dogmas and the beliefs and the doctrines and the dogmas and the beliefs and the doctrines and the dogmas and the beliefs and the, you see what I'm saying? They teach and they preach and they teach and they preach and they teach and they preach. And is anybody listening? I don't know if they even check. Whereas if Shekinah were present in the church, there would be delegated servants for checking the physical and spiritual health of the people, resolving disputes and harmonizing what's going on. But that feminine presence is not there because we live in a solar system or a sector of space where the galaxy is absolutely committed to being predatory, absolutely predatory. All of the treaties, the El Anu Treaty, the Greada Treaty, the Tau 9 Treaty, are all treaties, TREATISE, treaties, on domination, okay, on maritime admiralty, UCC codes, commercial codes, in which neither the environment nor the animals or the birds or the people have any rights to life, any rights whatsoever. So that the prominent civilization is predatory. How do we know this? Well, look at what the Space Force does when they see a UFO in the atmosphere. They try to shoot it down. Bam, they're going to shoot it down, 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 and they don't care who's in it. They don't care whether the ship is coming here because they need fuel, because they need water, because for whatever reason. They're going to shoot it down, shoot it down, shoot it down, shoot it down. All right. Unlike, all right, in Mr. President Trump's world, the unlawful migrants who show up at our border get placed in a detention center and get debriefed, and they get vetted, and it's figured out who they are. The ETs that show up here get no such courtesy. They're just shot down, shot down, shot down, shot down. And that's why we know that this civilization it's predatory. Absolutely. Now, You might wonder, well, why were there two angelic rebellions, the Satanic rebellion and the Luciferian rebellion? Because they were rebelling against the practice of killing innocent people just because they were hybrids. They were racially inferior. That's why Satanism and Luciferianism rebellions occurred. They didn't believe that people should be murdered just because their DNA is different from some standard. This is why one of the practices of Satanism is to try to strengthen the soul of its adherents through cruelty and sacrifice, because those practices actually do strengthen the soul. Right? Luciferianism has gone off the rails. Luciferianism seeks to absolutely destroy this civilization, this natural environment, everything, because they cannot validate the predatory behavior of the civilization itself. And so that's what I'm dealing with this morning, is I'm going to go to church and I'm going to listen to God, who wants to attain and maintain boundaries and achieve peoples who can stand up for themselves. Unfortunately, the people are dying of disease, and they're dying from electronic interventions, and they're dying from pollution, and they're dying from a lot of things. And the medical profession, being a profiteering, predatory profession, doesn't care. It's just more money for them. The more people are sick. You know how that works? So I'm scratching my head this morning thinking, gosh, how do we get the influence of Shechainah, of the she-god, into our society to monitor the spiritual and physical health of our people, as is done in some Eastern countries, in Japan and China? The people are monitored to make sure that they grow strong and quick. How do we examine ourselves to see whether our spirits are strong? Because a spirit, you just put an old person in a nursing home and their spirit goes out like a light bulb, because there's no variety, there's no stimulation, there's no wonder, there's no curiosity. Everything is just regulated down to a routine that would put anybody's spirit to sleep. Indeed, it's the Catholic Church having the veneration of Mary that I see as the only place where femininity is taken seriously as a source of problem solving, conflict resolution, personal health, and spiritual health. And I tried there, and I couldn't do that either. So I'm just tackling this realization that going to church is only half the story. And we need to generate the other half. And we need to have the language to talk about the other half. And we don't have that language either, because predators speak in terms of win and buy and get. They don't talk about trade-offs. They don't talk about costs. So that's where my thoughts are going this morning, and I hope that I've got you thinking too, because we may need to create some new affiliations in order to begin including the feminine dimension in our understanding of the universe spirit and the ETs who are coming here. The ETs who are coming here are not all automatically worthy of summary execution. Not all of them. And we need to be intelligent enough to make assessments about them and their motivations when they get here. And they are getting here, and they have been getting here for 60 years. And the predatory, one-sided government has not been honest with us, the people, about what they're doing. And you know it, I know, we've had enough of that. This has been Emily Craig, and have a nice Sunday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.